Hey everyone, it's Gigi. Yep, we're back in my kitchen, so come on in. Today I've decided as one of our sides that I'm gonna fix a recipe that I've never fixed before. I'm trying a new recipe. Let me show you this cookbook that I got. I love Stacey Lynn Harris's cookbook. It's called Love Language of the South, and it is a wonderful cookbook with lots of stories, and I just love it. I was actually sitting at the breakfast table this morning sharing it with my husband and just telling him how much I loved this book. But I'm gonna try one of Stacey Lynn's recipes, so I want to be sure to give her the credit for it. I've never made this recipe, but the reason that I chose this one out of all the recipes, and I'm sure I'll be cooking other recipes, but it's for a pineapple casserole. And my husband loves pineapples. I mean, loves them. Fresh, sliced in the can, it doesn't matter. He loves pineapples. So, but what I've decided to do is, since it's just my husband and I that'll be eating it, I'm gonna cut Stacey Lynn's recipe in half so that it's better suited for us not having, too much, since I'm not cooking it for my family or for a crowd. So I'm gonna be cutting this recipe in half, but it's gonna be exactly like her recipe, just with the recipe cut in half. So we're gonna jump right in and get started. It seems like a pretty simple recipe to follow, and y'all know me, I'm a pretty simple girl, so I think I'm gonna be able to figure it out. Anyhow, here we go. Her recipe calls for 2 20-ounce cans of crushed pineapples with 1/4 cup of the juice reserved. So I've got 1 20-ounce can and 1/8 cup, or 2 tablespoons reserved of the juice. So we're gonna put, I've already drained it per her recipe. Okay, so that's 1 20-ounce cup. Okay, and then it says 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. So I've got 1/4 cup, and it just says in a large bowl, we're gonna mix the pineapples, the reserved juice, like I said, 2 tablespoons, and then flour, and it calls for 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, so I'm using 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. And then it says sugar, and it calls for 1/2 cup of sugar. So there again, I'm cutting it in half, and I'm using 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, and then it says add the cheese, and the original recipe calls for 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese. So I've got 1 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I went ahead and grated and shredded this before I got on my video, so I wouldn't take up too much time. And that's sharp cheddar. Okay, and then it says mix all of this up. I got to thinking too, my mind's always spinning with recipes and stuff, and I thought, in the South, I don't know about anywhere else, but a lot of times when we're baking a ham, we put pineapples on our ham, and I thought, this would really be good with some ham chopped up in it too. I'm not going to do that. I'm sticking straight to Stacey Lynn's recipe, but I think when I make this again, I'm going to dice up some ham in it. Don't that sound good? Okay, so just says to mix that up really well. Yep. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Nope, that's it. Okay, and of course, her recipe says a 9 by 9, I believe. And I don't need that size since I cut it in half. So I'm gonna use this oval. I have lightly sprayed it, and I'm gonna use a smaller casserole dish. I think this is gonna be delicious. And you know, at church functions and different things, I've seen pineapple casseroles on the table. I'm not the big pineapple fan that my husband is, so I have to honestly say, I'm looking forward to trying this because I've never tried pineapple casserole before. So it's gonna be a first for me making it and a first for me trying it. But I did ask my husband when I was showing him the book this morning, I asked him if he would be willing to try it. And he said, hey, I love pineapples. I'm willing to try anything. And thankfully he is. He's got the best palate. He is not picky. He will, very rarely does he say, okay, I don't think I care for that too much. But he literally will try anything that I fix. He's not picky. And so that's a good thing for me because I can experiment. Okay, so I'm gonna sit that over to the side. Bring in this bowl. Let me preheat my oven. Y'all know I always forget that. And I'm going to, that's my butter. Now, her recipe calls for 2 sleeves of Ritz crackers and get my melted butter. Her recipe calls for 2 sleeves and a whole stick of butter. So I just cut that in half. Once again, 1 sleeve and a half a stick of butter, okay? We're just gonna crush this up. Now, I have made this crust because here in the South, if we make a casserole, you can bet the top is probably going to be Ritz crackers and butter. And y'all know I just did that that poppy seed chicken casserole yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. And of course, that was with the crackers. And I always have to be careful here because I open this bag and I'll dump these everywhere. And that was part of my crush yesterday. And this is going to bake for 30 minutes. 350 degrees. So for 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay. Pour that butter in. Give that a good whirl. Whirl, swirl, mix. I'm excited to try this. Like I said, I'm loving this cookbook. Of course, you know, I love all my cookbooks. I've got Brenda Gantz, her whole entire set, and I've got Nan's with Farm Cooking with Nan, and Stacey Lynn's, and then just other cookbooks that I've had, you know, through the years. So, you know, sometimes it's just good to get somebody else's perspective on recipes. And, you know, a lot of times we cook a lot the same, but a few ingredients may vary, or we may do it a little bit different or have a different style. And you know what? I'm through with that recipe. I hope that thing hadn't had a glare on me the whole time, but I had to be able to see my recipe book. Okay, so we are going to top this with our crust. Getting all that goodie out of there. Y'all, this is gonna be delicious. Okay, guys, you know the drill. I'm gonna pop this as soon as my timer goes off that my oven is preheated. Now I'm probably gonna check this because I'm not sure, you know, about Miss Stacy's, what kind of stove she cooks on, but I just know that I cook on a gas stove, and a lot of times it cooks a little bit quicker than, like, say, an electric stove. So I'm gonna start checking it probably at about 25 minutes, or as long as the top is golden in color, then I'll know that it's done. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven as soon as my timer goes off. And then as soon as it comes out and it cools down enough for me to sample it, I'll be back with you guys and we'll give this a taste, and you can try it with me for the first time. And hey, in the comments, let me know, have you ever had a pineapple casserole? And if so, do you like it or not like it? Or I have a feeling I may have a new favorite to put on the table at the holidays. Okay, I'll quit talking and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, guys, we're back. The pineapple casserole is out of the oven, and I will tell you that it occurred to me that I had cut the recipe in half, so it wasn't going to be as thick of a casserole. So I took it out at about 25 minutes, okay? And as you can see, it's golden. And like I said, y'all are gonna try it with me for the first time. And I've let it cool down, so I think it's cool enough now for me to be able to take a bite and let you know my honest opinion. Oh man. That is really good. I mean, pineapples and cheese together. I would have never thought it up, but some brilliant person did, because that's delicious. That is really, really good. I'm gonna have another bite. And see, I timed this video just minutes before my husband walks through the door from work. So it's piping hot. I'm gonna serve it up with the rest of our supper. He's gonna love it. No doubt about it. He's gonna love it. This will not be my last time making this. If you've made it before, you already know it's delicious. But if you haven't, like I hadn't never made it, and I hadn't ever tried it before. But I've tried it. I'll be making it again. It will be on my table at the holidays. You can bank on it. Well, we've come to the end of another video, and once again, I've got to say, so long, but Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'm not even really sure what that means, but anyhow, it's a Southern thing because I've heard it all my life. But until then, go show some kindness, go share some love with somebody, because I can promise you that you know somebody right now that comes to mind that needs your love, that needs some kindness shown to them in their life. And you may just be the person who can bring that joy and love into their life. So don't procrastinate. I know I've been guilty of that before, and not reached out to somebody in need when they needed me. And so I've definitely been guilty, but find that person and see if you can't just give them a call, send them a card, a text message. Just, it doesn't take much to let somebody know that you care about them. So anyhow, I'll hush. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you again real soon for another great recipe. Go try this pineapple casserole. And if you don't have Stacey Lynn Harris's cookbook, Love Language of the South, you need to get it. Okay, bye guys. See you later.